is so insane. The human guinea pig stuff in Africa is so insane. Guinea pig stuff in Africa is so insane. Is so insane. Is so insane. The human guinea pig stuff in Africa is so insane. Guinea pig stuff in Africa is so insane. Is so insane. Is so insane. The human guinea pig stuff in Africa is so insane. The stuff they're doing is so evil. It's almost like if you had a video game and the point of the video game was to be as evil as possible to as many black people in Africa as possible. Like, and then making it so that they're like trying to get it so they're drinking urine and feces. That's the most insane, evil thing, man.
nightmare.
This stuff they're doing is so evil. It's almost like if you had a video game.
All right, what's up? Welcome. You know we were going to do another alien show, and here we are. It's time for, even though it's Alien January, it's not Alien January, it's Alien February. So we lied. You caught us. We're busted.
The aliens crossed over into February. But this is the last alien show for a while, right?
It's not the last we're going to hear from the alien baloney,
No.
the monkey madness of the alien baloney, but
They'll be here soon, don't worry.
they're going to arrive soon.
Don't you worry. They're coming.
But when Elon Musk takes us to Mars, we can run away. See, they're going to come here, and then when they get here, they'll be like, where are the humans at? Because we all rode on that Tesla space barge with Elon Musk to Mars, dude.
The only thing I want to know is if the aliens accept Dogecoin.
They accept alien coin, pot coin.
Okay. There's a great episode of South Park about space money. Have you seen that one?
No. What is space money?
It's the aliens try to trick the humans by giving them space money, which was worthless. And it's a test to see if they could join the Galactic Federation of enlightened beings. And the humans fell for the space money. And
Space monkey.
The space money, and they got imprisoned in a cube. That's a good episode.
Well, cubes are going to come up. Not Ice Cube, but cubes are going to come up tonight with...
Yeah.
The aliens are always connected to cubes.
Yeah.
Shocker, right?
Allspark?
That's because Saturn is a cube.
Yeah.
The Allspark.
You do it good.
Optimus Prime. I can't do it. I can't really do it.
You do it.
I am Optimus Prime, the Allspark. Yeah, that's not good.
You
That
have
sucks.
to do it more forceful and gravelly.
The Allspark.
Yeah.
The Allspark.
There you go.
Nathaniel Witwicky. There we go. How's that? Is that his name? Nathan Witwicky?
Something like that. What was Shia
LaBeoufwicky.
Yeah, see? It's good.
Autobots. What does he say?
Attack! I don't know.
Autobots, sell your potcoin.
Hold your Doge, Autobots.
Autobots, hold your Doge.
Yes.
That still sucks. I can't get it right. Nathaniel Witwicky. Shia LaBeoufy. Okay, we're going to do Transformers first.
Yeah, 2007.
Remember when Transformers came out?
Blockbuster.
Remember that? I grew up in the age of Transformers, and I remember I never got Optimus Prime. He was the one I wanted. Actually, my favorite was Starscream and the Decepticons, but the toy stores would charge outrageous amounts for Optimus Prime because he was, the leader of the good guys. So he was like $50, and my dad was like, "I'm not buying you that." He was
$50
for a Optimus Prime, something like that.
Wow.
The GameCube.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just drawing the Allspark.
The cube existed before time began. Mm-hmm. Right?
Right, there's a Kabbalistic element to the cube and this kind of stuff.
Yes,
right?
and the cube is the perfect ashlar, too, right?
Yes.
Of Masons. And what else? It brings life. It creates life. There's a scene where they put a little cell phone into the box and they direct the cube's energy into the cell phone and it becomes alive.
Oh, that's how
and
that little
sentient.
guy okay.
Yeah.
So basically, this is a Gnostic myth where the spark of life, the inner spark of divinity, right? The Gnostic idea of the hidden inner spark of deity that is kind of like a technology. So if you master the technology of God, you can become God. and it's a emergent deity. Like the universe is just kind of chaotic because, of course, this universe was an accident. And within the universe are the secrets to how to attain godhood. And, you know, it's the same idea as what's Thanos' power glove that he's got, right? Mm-hmm. It's the same idea. So, right.
Guess where the cube ended up?
The game cube? What cube?
Antarctica.
Right, which is, you know, figures prominently in conspiracy alien mythology, does it not? Everybody loves the idea that there's aliens in Antarctica. Mm-hmm. Because of what? The Thing?
X-Files. The Thing.
The Thing did it before X-Files.
Yeah. So you've got the cube in Antarctica, and then you've got them fighting them in Qatar. And the U.S. military base is invaded by the Decepticon in Qatar, right?
Right, but I did want to talk about the fact that, I mean, I think there is something weird going on about Antarctica. Because they won't, why do the world leaders go there and meet? I mean, it's just a bunch of damn ice, dude. Why are you going to meet on a big ice barge, a big ice cube?
I've heard there's underground bases. Have you heard of that?
I'm sure there's something like that, yeah. But I would not be surprised if there wasn't some discovery or something there that suggested, you know, Nephilim type things. I mean, I can't prove that, but I wouldn't be surprised. And then that's kind of kept under wraps because we know that the way the system works, there's nothing that vindicates the biblical worldview that they would want out there in the public. So
yeah,
but it's not aliens. I don't believe in aliens. So
well, these aliens are sentient mechanical.
It's not an ice wall. It's not a flat Earth ice wall.
Mechanical biological aliens is what they are.
So these are AI aliens.
Yeah.
Basically.
And then there's a scene where George Bush is kind of the dumb president on Air Force One. He's like, bring me my ding-dongs when the aliens are taking over. You remember that?
Yeah. I think he was talking about literal ding-dongs.
I know, he was.
Here's the cube. By the way, every time I hear of like a meta, like one of the Trons, I think of Metatron.
Yeah.
So even though it's Megatron, it's not Metatron. It's still something. Just evokes the idea of Kabbalism when we hear all of these names of these Autobots and Decepticons, right? Mm-hmm.
So what else?
So where are we at? So moving on. The
cast of characters was funny in this. You got Shia LaBeouf, Megan Fox, and you've got that Australian girl who's the hacker. Remember that?
Right, all the hot hackers. Right. Like Megan Fox and this really hot hacker are going to be hanging out with all these nerds. It's not reality at all.
And she knows all about cars. Megan Fox does, and so two girls who don't have like a typical feminine thing.
Right. That's not hot chicks. Okay, hot chicks don't do that. Do you do hacking things?
No.
Do you crush motherboards?
No.
And create internet money, magic internet, crypto money? No. Although, do you do like Doge though, because he's cute, right?
Yeah. The only reason.
So you've got these really unrealistic, preposterous characters. I mean, Megan Fox her dad is a car thief, and she's been raised on cars. I don't know why Hollywood always wants to make women love cars and car things, because they don't.
There's a whole trope. We're going to talk about that when we do our romantic comedies.
Oh yeah, I forgot to Bernie Mac in it now. I can't understand half of what Bernie Mac is saying, but it's funny.
Yeah. How about Shia LaBeouf? All of his lines.
I'm doing my Bernie Mac.
And his eyes pop out.
Yeah. That's what he does. Yeah. That's his whole shtick, but it's still funny.
Can you talk as fast as Shia LaBeouf?
No, I can't do Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf.
He had 100 more lines than anybody else in the movie. Huh.
Shia LaBeouf is just neurotic, and it's the one thing I do like about this movie is the funny portrayal of the boomers. You go back and watch this. Actually, it accurately portrays funny boomer stereotypes, because the boomer dad is obsessed with his lawn, which is funny because this is prior to boomer jokes. I invented boomer jokes, by the way. If you don't know that, that's legit true. I started that around the time this movie came out. We were writing essays making fun of boomers back when I had my old website, and it was one of the first articles on the old website. And the Shia LaBeouf's dad in this is just archetypal boomer. Like, he's obsessed with his yard. He has no clue what's going on. The mom is clueless as well, which is kind of funny. But there's something else after all the alien stuff at the end of the movie, there's these stupid outtakes, and they're still like clueless. They don't know what's going on, right? Mm-hmm. So I did enjoy the stereotypical portrayal of boomers in this. And by the way, this is a Michael Bay film. Shocker, right?
Spielberg and Michael Bay.
Right. And so made me think about his obsession with explosions. Could you imagine if Michael Bay filmed The Big Bang? What would it be like?
It would be all Big Bang. It'd be the biggest
that
bang
would be
ever.
His.
It would be the Great Bang.
Like, the whole movie would just be like a 1 second explosion.
Yeah.
It would be the shortest movie ever, like 1 second movie. Michael Bay.
You could take an explosion
The
and
Big
stretch
Bang.
It out.
No, it would just be 1 second. That's fun. Like a 1 second movie.
Oh, okay.
You go to the theater, you sit down, it says Michael Bay, and then the Big Bang explosion, and then it's over. The credits start rolling.
A lot of explosions in the Transformers. And a lot of broken things. So...
You could power a small company from the lens flares in a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah.
The half the movie is lens flares. You need sunglasses to go watch a Michael Bay movie.
They went to some esoteric sites in this movie.
That's right. I forgot about that. Now what? So the U.S. has a base in Qatar, which is interesting. Gulf states. That's of course part of the, Western power structure, the Western power bloc. Gulf states, and then where else do they go? Antarctica. So we've got Antarctica, the Gulf states.
They went to Griffith Park Observatory a couple
times. Yes,
times.
which we've been to, and if you don't know, Griffith Park is very Masonic and Pythagorean and Neoplatonic. So you've got statues of like Copernicus and Newton out there, and then when you go inside the observatory, you see all of this kind of weird esoteric Pythagorean and Platonic stuff everywhere. Mm-hmm. I remember there's it's almost like a cathedral, but it's a cathedral to Western Hermeticists and alchemists, right? And so you've got isn't there a big pendulum swinging, right? That's swinging back and forth in the middle.
Yeah, it's like drawing things in the sand. What do you call those?
And there's an image of Socrates, an image of Pythagoras, Aristotle. So it's like a weird... I don't know. It's just a weird place, but obviously, suggests the hermetic, alchemical, esoteric nature of Hollywood, Los Angeles, right? Because you have to go up the hill, right, up near the Hollywood sign, right? Mm-hmm. And it overlooks the valley where James Dean wrecked. So there's a little monument with James Dean's heads on it.
Oh, yeah.
Where he wrecked. Yeah. So it's just a really bizarre place. And then the Autobots are there planning their thing.
Yeah.
It was very bizarre. I didn't expect all that. But if you've been to those sites, you know what I'm talking about. And you guys could probably point out more things than I recall. Oh, yes. If you watch Under the Silver Lake, which is a really good Hollywood esoteric movie, the Hobo King lives around Griffith Park. Exactly.
They also went to Hoover Dam, which is kind of a esoteric spot.
It is. I've been there too. And Hoover Dam is decorated in the
Art Deco.
Art Deco. I always think of it's the Ayn Rand art. So because yes, actually Fountainhead, Ayn Rand stuff. It has that theme of the Promethean capitalist titan who basically John Galt. Okay, so the artwork embodies that. That's why if you go to Rockefeller Square, Rockefeller Plaza, it's all that Art Deco stuff with the same artist who was, I think, actually a socialist. I think some weird communist socialist who did the Rockefeller Plaza art with Prometheus, the big Prometheus statue, which you see in Ghostbusters. The Ghostbusters run in front of the Prometheus statue at Rockefeller Square. Anyway, it's the same artist who is some kind of weird socialist, ironically, if I recall, who did all of that artwork, right? So Hoover Dam is under the auspices of FDR, This is those big state-run projects right during the Depression to try to save the economy, which we know the secret to all that. If we've listened to my Quigley talks, we know that was just to consolidate everybody's wealth and transfer it on the basis of that unfair debt, right? So they basically privatize, socialize, back and forth in different cycles to steal everyone's wealth. So it's a decades-long wealth transfer operation. And that's why the TVA and those big, well, I guess it wasn't FDR, it was Hoover Dam, right? So I guess Hoover did it. I don't know the history of that. Who's John Galt? Ayn Rand, dude, come on.
They also, my friend sent me a picture. They
Atlas
have
shrugged.
star maps on the floor at Hoover Dam. So there's some astrological things going on.
Let me look up who that artist was, and I'll see if I'm right about that. Keep going.
Okay. Well, guess what else they got under there? They got
There's a big, giant underground base.
freaking Decepticon frozen that they brought back from Antarctica, and they put it under Hoover Dam to disguise. And they built this whole dam around a giant robot from outer space. And they got the cube, which they have been reverse engineering all of our technology.
It was FDR. I was right. It was an FDR thing. It was renamed Hoover Dam. It was actually FDR Dam. But anyway, keep going.
They have the Allspark, and they've been reverse engineering all of our technology since the 20s or something. So everything that we have now comes from this giant black cube. Right?
Mm-hmm. Right, so it's kind of a panspermia myth, right?
Yeah.
Because they've been here for forever.
Yes. So this
Same as the black goo in X-Files, right? So the black goo gets in the Geico cavemen, and that's where humans come from, right?
This movie has the Men in Black, too.
Yes, John Turturro plays the weird. So the artist is. Keep going. Keep it
I'm
going.
looking at the notes. Hold on.
I'm trying to remember who this stupid
They call
artist
themselves
was.
visitors from heaven, so they're like fallen angels, or they have the fallen angel down there who escapes and causes havoc, and Optimus Prime has to fight him.
Find it.
So Optimus Prime, and I didn't know this, but Transformers has 4 other movies. I think I've only seen up to 3, and the lore of it is that Optimus Prime is a Christ figure towards Earth who sacrifices himself to save Earth. I believe that's the narrative in the Dark of the Moon and the other one.
Right. Well, there's references to the moon when we get to the third one, but we're not going to cover the third one tonight. But that one is really oddly conspiratorial. It has a lot of references to conspiracies. But remember, too, another reason that we have the Hoover Dam symbolism in the movie is because this is a movie about energy. The whole thing, the Allspark is energy, right? Remember in the cartoon, they eat the energy cubes. That's how they survive, right? So they're almost kind of like angels in a way.
There's something about sparks in the Kabbalah, too, like a soul is a spark.
I just said that at the beginning.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's the Kabbalistic doctrine is the same as the Gnostic doctrine.
Yeah.
The inner spark. So anyway, the electricity notion here, Hoover Dam, all of those TVA projects were also connected to the Manhattan Project. The Manhattan Project was where we get the Department of Energy, the Atomic Energy Commission and all that, which became this big, huge arm of the, quote, deep state. So energy is a huge racket and a huge market that is controlled, and really all of life is human energy control, right? The economic system, the debt slavery that the whole world is based around, fiat currency and all that, is an energy enslavement doctrine. So in a roundabout way, this movie is hinting at and referencing the whole control structure, right? And it's all about the battle between two types of AI and different types of evolved living systems and whatnot. I mean, I'm not saying that it's overtly that sophisticated. I'm saying that it's subtly that sophisticated, even though you wouldn't pick that up the first time you watched it back in, 2007. I didn't pick all that up.
Did the cartoon have stuff like that in it?
Sure.
It did.
Well, I think the cartoon was done by the same guy, the Friedman guy, who did all of the black ops, real conspiracy type stuff that's in G.I. Joe. So Transformers and G.I. Joe is the same guy. If you go watch my lecture that I did 2 years ago at Alternative View 9, you can find that on YouTube. It has, 30, 40,000 views. You'll notice that we did a whole analysis of the G.I. Joe cartoon and the Friedman character that comes up. By the way, I want to give a shout out to my friends, the Collins brothers. We've been long time interview podcast guys. Some of my earliest interviews back in the day, if y'all remember the early days of interviews. First off, we did Jim Mars. That was my first ever interview. So rest in peace, Jim Mars. That was a fun interview. That was kind of the link to, Sean Stone, Oliver Stone, and those guys, because Jim Mars wrote the book that was very influential, Crossfire, on Oliver Stone. So that was a cool interview. One of my first. I was terrible. The sound's terrible, but it was 10 years ago. I didn't know what I was doing. Then we had some other guys that we've kind of been friendly with for many years, 10 years or so. The Collins brothers, right? Paul and Philip Collins. And if you haven't heard those old classic interviews, go listen to them, because we talked about the alien psyop. Well, I got good news. Their book, all the way back, I think it was 10 years ago. I've known them for maybe 10, 8, 9 years. But the interview that we did was probably 7 years ago. And at that time, they had started their new book, Invoking the Beyond. And it's out. Look at this beast, dude. This beast is like the frickin', I don't know what. It's like a dang conspiracy Bible or something. So the Invoking the Beyond is out, right? It's like a George R.R. Martin size novel, right? Of like 500 pages of LARPing. But no, it's 1,100 pages. So the Collins brothers are going to be coming on. And the reason that I have this out is because I've been working my way through a little bit of it. I haven't obviously read that much of it yet, but I've marked the chapters because it's about a lot of things, but it's about the alien psyop. So right while we're doing our Alien January, we get a 1,000-page alien psyop book. And look at this. They've got a whole chapter on the alien UFO deception. And I've been working through that. It's perfect for tonight, right? And they back up actually a lot of the stuff that you've heard me talk about. They actually go to the Brenda Densler book. They go to Father Seraphim Rose, right? A lot of the stuff that we've talked about, the replacement of Christianity with the alien mythos, comes up in the Collins Brothers book. Anyway, they're going to be coming on soon, and we're going to do a really deep dive interview with them about their book. They get into Kubrick. They get into all the stuff you've heard me talk about, how the CIA, OSS, Deep State, military intelligence, Air Force intelligence has utilized this ridiculous alien mythos, and then in the long run, how even darker, more nefarious purposes are using this to replace Christianity with a new global religion that might tie into, alien jibber jabber.
Yeah. Transformers is a movie you don't think of as an alien movie, but it is about alien invasion.
Right, I'd forgotten that. I was like, robots, okay.
Yeah. But
Autobots.
This is also a category with WALL-E. WALL-E's another sentient robot that sacrifices himself for humanity. So
what do you make of that? There's a lot of AI movies that have this idea of a sacrifice.
Well, they are the destruction and the cure at the same time. That's the point of Terminator. Mm-hmm. And some other ones. That's in part 3 of my weird stuff that I haven't looked at in a long time.
Okay.
So,
where are we at?
I think that's it for Transformers.
By the way, if you want Jamie's books, a lot of people have been this last couple weeks buying Jamie's books, so we're happy for that. That's awesome. She's sold out of both of hers at the Jason Ellis shop. So we've ordered more. We're waiting on those to arrive. But yes, if you go to the shop at the website, you can get Jamie's really cool books too. And hers are really good to give to people who like pretty pictures. Right.
Yes, that's on purpose.
Yeah. it's like a coffee table book, right? Mm-hmm. And I got a lot of messages this week, people saying that they got their copies and they were really cool and excited to see your book. So you can go to the shop there.
Maybe someday
grab one of your books. Keep going.
We'll do a show about the books in the third one that I haven't done yet, and some reasons why I don't sell the first one, and some things that were wrong and things that were right, and how I was talking about androids and AI before anyone else.
So one of them, the Operation Culture Creation that she did. Let's see. So we've got the chapter Mystery Religions. That's the first chapter. Project Crazy Bitch. That's a good one. Like, why are women so crazy nowadays? You got a whole chapter on Project Crazy Bitch. Trauma-based mind control. That's a good chapter. I remember that one. And then Monarch mind control, rock and roll, and the symbolism of zombies. And what does that say? Program for what?
Program for war.
Yeah, how toys, right? You had a really good chapter on how toys program us. And that was relevant when I was...
It's like Transformers was a toy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's just like G.I. Joe. Transformers was military recruitment programming for boys.
Yeah.
Even though you're not going to... At that time when you joined the military, right, in the 80s, 90s, it wasn't all robotics, but you were being prepped for the roboticization of everything, which is where we are now. Mm-hmm. Now it's all moving to robots, and we're not going to need the human soldiers anymore, right?
Just play the video game of war.
Or we don't even need that.
Yeah.
They're getting rid of humans.
Right.
It's becoming AI. So anyway, but it might be relevant down the road to cover more of the Transformers series because it gets pretty wacky. You get nukes going off in cities in the third one, Dark of the Moon or whatever. It just gets really wild in terms of what the expectations are and for what's going to happen when the AI entities are loose, right? So I don't know. I guess they were just trying to make money, but Michael Bay does seem to enjoy preferring these conspiracy plots. Remember the movie he did on Benghazi? It was actually kind of accurate, which I don't think people expected. That was a surprise, but he did that Benghazi movie, and he told the accurate story of what had happened there and how that was a big psyop. Anyway, be sure to hit like and share. We got 125 likes out of 336 nerds up in here. Come on, y'all. We know you like this stuff.
It's Monday.
So?
I don't know. Where is everyone?
Where's my Doge at? Where's my Doge army? My dog boy, my dog coin.
Hold your Doge. So, whoa, we got Independence Day, probably the biggest alien blockbuster
of all time, probably.
Yeah.
Let me see. May not be. I don't know.
I mean, maybe not a critic favorite, but like definitely a gigantic blockbuster, a movie that, a popcorn. Success.
Man, I love it when Will Smith, when he punched that alien in the face, he's like, "You stink, dog." That's my favorite part.
He got dreads, remember? The alien.
Yeah, the alien has dreads, like Predator has. He's a wook, dude. He's a space wook.
Every time you do an impression, people do.
Whoa, dude. This is like $1 billion movie. This dumbass movie is $1 billion movie. Yeah. Can you believe that? Can you believe in 1990, what was this? What, 6?
1996, yeah. So I'm going to read your notes to you.
I remember going to see this with my buddy Tommy, but I don't remember much about it at the time. I
just remember it was like a summer blockbuster that.
Of course. It's a $1 billion movie, of course.
Yeah. And they showed the trailer a million times, I'm sure.
No, it had like super duper hype. Bill Pullman is the president.
Yeah.
And this was really Will Smith breaking out. Like this made him huge.
Yeah.
Like this was like everybody. I mean, he was popular from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but like this was his blockbuster. Like everybody.
This propelled Will Smith to Tom Cruise level.
No. And then he French kisses his son.
How can you How can kisses be real if our lips aren't real?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Famous Jaden Smith quote. Wisdom.
Scientology.
Wisdom. Let us hear Jaden Smith.
So Moon BS, Apollo. Aliens are as stupid as Apollo 11. Is that?
I said that?
Yeah. I'm going to tell you what you said.
These are my old notes I wrote years ago about this movie. I took some notes and I never did do an analysis.
SETI?
Oh, doesn't it start with something to do with the moon and you see the moon or something?
Moon BS Apollo.
So I'm saying that basically alien invasion stuff is as dumb as a lot of the space propaganda is, I think what my note means. But
signal from the moon. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, there's a signal coming from the moon. SETI.
It's that womp womp that they have to figure out.
What?
It's like a womp womp, and then Jeff Goldblum.
Oh,
he figures out it's a
womp womp.
Yeah.
Through mathematical calculations of chaos theory, I've come to the conclusion that this is a alien invasion.
If I remember correctly, Jeff Goldblum in this movie was kind of a climate person, like recycling and biking to work and a green.
Yeah, he's like an EPA type of person.
Yeah, a green guy.
Right. So this was actually prepping us for green stuff. Green is a big part of this. It's also, in fact, there was Elliot Gaines, a professor, a secular professor, who noticed the semiotic tendencies in this movie to be similar to the Big Nine event. And so, in fact, the Collins brothers actually have a chapter section on this, the semiotic deception around the Big Nine event. And so even secular professors have talked about the potential for propaganda in terms of movies, right? So Elliot Gaines, famous well-known professor who has an essay on the semiotic deception of the Big Nine event in movies prior to that. And one of his key examples is this, because there's a big scene, 1996, that's very reminiscent of a Big Nine type of explosion.
Mm-hmm. He's a fighter pilot, right? He's like Will Smith is the elite jet fighter pilot.
Yeah, and he's dating a stripper.
Yes.
Vivica Fox.
Yup. She's a dancer. Let's see what else. Pentagon fakes busybodies.
What?
Pentagon what?
You just can't read my writing.
I know.
Freaks out. Pentagon busybodies. I don't know what that means, but let's see. Oh, the movie is U.S. propaganda. This is basically war on terror propaganda. Again, many of these 90s movies are war on terror propaganda. And so even though this is about, quote, aliens, it's actually about the foreign external threat. Again, it's about invoking the beyond. And the beyond can be anything. It can be using fiction for propaganda in the Cold War, using fiction for propaganda in World War II, using fiction as invasion of the body snatchers is classic Cold War propaganda because the body snatchers are like communists, right? They make you into a Borg, they make you into a hive. So that was always the alien quote threat has been used for the foreign external threat, and obviously, just like many of those big '90s blockbusters, which we've upon reflection noticed actually were preparations for the war on terror. Mm-hmm. True Lies. What did we do? We covered some recently that 90s movies that turned out to be war on terrorish type preparation. Anyway, I don't remember what it was, but True Lies is a classic example of that. Maybe some of the other Arnold movies, I can't remember. But
yeah, there were.
Independence Day is definitely that. Independence Day is about getting us ready for a global war, right, on an invisible threat.
I like you put President Pullman, Wimp Prez, Sexiest Man of the Year, Obama lol. Did Obama win Sexiest Man of the Year?
Yeah.
Oh, gross.
So I think in the movie, Bill Pullman gets Sexiest Man of the Year or something like that. I don't remember what my note is, but that's probably what I was thinking. I probably wrote this at the time that Obama was made Sexiest Man of the Year or whatever.
This is one of those movies that you've seen.
Michael's Sexiest Man of the Year is with me.
So many
I'm going to
times.
co-share it with Michael. We're both Sexiest Man of the Year.
Yeah,
Get it?
Sexiest Man of the Year. How many times do you think you've seen this movie?
4.
4.
I hate it. I don't.
Oh.
This movie is terrible.
I've probably seen it a lot more than that.
Why?
Just because it's one of those things that everyone
Time is precious.
puts on when you're hanging out or whatever.
I even saw the sequel and it was terrible. We saw the sequel when we were in San Francisco. Remember that?
I've seen a lot of things against my will.
Do you remember seeing the sequel in San Francisco?
Of Independence Day?
At your friend's house?
Yes.
All right. What's next?
DEFCON 3, Call NORAD. Alien Calls.
Okay, you're not going to understand my notes.
Attack on Statue of Liberty.
Right. So they love to attack and blow up the symbolic sites. This is a movie thing they love. And number one is either the Golden Gate Bridge or the Statue of Liberty, right? Or the Eiffel Tower, right?
The Golden
Everybody
Gate Bridge
wants to
always
love
gets
to.
it. I don't know why.
So
I hate that one.
Like whenever it finally happens, everybody's gonna be like, "Yes, that movie predicted it," because it's just waiting to happen, right?
Yeah. You said watching Day the Earth Stood Still. Was somebody watching that?
Yeah, in the movie, there's references to all the classic, alien movies. And by the way, we just did that terrible Kinko Reeves J-Con version of it that was awful, and that's propaganda too. And actually, this is one of the first consciously globalist propaganda movies, The Day the Earth Stood Still, because literally the whole point of the movie, which is repeated in The Arrival, the recent Amy Adams movie, alien movie, which I don't know why. If you look at people's lists of top 5 alien movies, they always put Arrival. I thought the movie was super boring and dumb, right? Giant squids, right? Like Squidward aliens coming to spit out, like cooming their black goo all over the screen and drawing the circle with it. Coffee stains. And Amy Adams figures out that it says, oh, the message is everybody needs a global government, right?
Of course.
That was so stupid. And all that is just another version of Day the Earth Stood Still. Because Klaatu or Kinko or the Clap or whatever his name is, right? He just comes to Earth and says, basically, have a world government or we're going to... eugenics depop you. Right? Mm-hmm. So, again, the alien represent the elite. Like, every time we learn what the alien are up to, it's, they're going to depopulate. They want to get rid of everybody. They want to feed on everybody. They're parasitical. It's obvious.
Yep. Oh, a crowd favorite in this is Randy Quaid, the conspiracy alien weird guy who has been anally probed and no one believes him.
Here we go with the butt stuff, right? The aliens in the butt stuff.
Yep.
And by the way, the Kufid is now coming for your butt, like the alien. So that's you're gonna have the swab in the booty, and that's to get you ready for the aliens, baby. You ready for the alien love that's coming? Maybe
the aliens are like dogs, and they just wanna. That's how they learn, by sniffing you. Back.
No, it's just a dehumanization ritual. Maybe it's Crowleyan.
If,
Crowley loves all that butt stuff.
No, that's what I mean. If you don't think this is satanic by now, with the masks and the lockdown and everything, then the
aliens love butt stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why. But in this movie, Randy Quaid keeps making that dumb joke about flying up the butt of the alien ship. And the alien ship looks like a butt.
That's how he does it at the end, and he says,
"That's what I'm saying. I know." That's what I'm talking about.
I
know. Which I guess is supposed to be funny, but it's not.
Up your.
Remember, by the way, when Quaid kind of lost it and was saying that the Star Whackers are out to get him. And by the way, people said he was crazy 8 years ago, when he was that viral clip where he was talking about the Star Whackers killing stars, and then turns out there are Star Whackers, right? Remember the black cube? Remember the story about Weinstein and all that stuff? It came out that yes, there's Star Whackers. who do you think has killed like so many of these famous people that have been killed? Yeah, of course they're star whackers. Some of the stars have been whackers, like Chuck Barris, right? So just ironic that you have Quaid as the conspiracy theorist in the movie, and then in real life he is a conspiracy theorist who talks about star whackers. That's wild.
Yeah, he's the abductee. You said Childhood's End? What reminded you of
Just
that?
another, because the aliens show up and they're here to destroy everybody, and everybody thinks that they're going to be nice, right? It's the same plot of V. All of the alien movies are derivative of Childhood's End. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Or World of Worlds.
Yeah, they all have their. Those are. It's like any fantasy is going to have, something based on. Where's your photo? Where's your photo? Sam, Fagundo. They're taking the harvest to Isengard. Come on. Where's your photo?
Do that.
Potatoes.
What's his taters?
There you go. That's pretty good. Fagundo.
What's taters?
Sean Bean is my new favorite one. We should use it for us. No, I can't do it. This ring came to us.
Do that guy. Can you do
What?
the guy from Independence Day? That neurotic guy who talks feminine. He's like, oh, I gotta call my mother. Remember? He works with Jeff Goldblum.
I forget his name. I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to do that.
I like him.
I just did Legolas
Okay.
and Boromir, so.
What? President calls the shots. Lol. You said.
Yeah, I mean
That's
the
not
movies always give us the impression. We just watched National Treasure 2, right, where the president there's a secret conspiracy book where they tell the president all the secrets of America, and the president's passed it down to the president. So because the president calls the shots, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how
President knows all
laughable
the
is it?
secrets.
How laughable is it that the president calls the shots?
soon
Right?
as-
Not billionaires, the president.
As soon as he's inaugurated, they give him the book with all the secrets, and then he knows everything, and he can make decisions.
Riley, you're telling me that there's a book. The presidents have a secret book. I'm going to kidnap the president of the United States.
And he
Right?
says, I'm in.
Yes. But so once again, no, not Harvey Fierstein. Whoever the Jewish guy is in Independence Day, I forget his name. But once again, we have the notion that the president calls the shots. We're all just waiting to hear what the president's... David Rockefeller's just waiting to see what the president wants, right? Even though David Rockefeller's at the CFR meetings, right? The Trilateral Commission meetings, introducing Bill Clinton as his choice. My choice, Bill Clinton, will make a fine president. Literally, there's videos of this. Just go look it up. Because they go to Bilderberg.
Why are all these people like based on the archetype of Mr. Burns from?
Mr. Burns is based on David Rockefeller,
Yeah.
obviously.
But they're all like that. Okay, so Jeff Goldblum works in the media. Men all at trash.
All about truth.
Oh, all about truth.
Jeff Goldblum is the media man, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
gives the impression that the media is all about truth. They just want to get the scoop, which is more BS, right? Like, nowadays we know, we've seen through this facade, as if the media is there to, wear their media press hat that they wear and, like, sneak around and get the story, right? And they're willing to risk their lives to get the story, as if anybody really believes that anymore about the media, right? The media are just paid people who are propagandists.
Oh yeah. What's Elliot Gaines' piece? What does that mean?
What I just mentioned at the beginning, the professor who talks about semiotics.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
What's at the bottom?
Jeff, we talked about that. He decodes the set.
The SETI. So once again, SETI. Once again, what do we see? How many of these dumb '90s movies with all this alien jibber jabber? We got to hear about SETI. SETI is the stupidest, dumbest thing about some gigantic waste thing, right? Imagine how many billions of dollars have been wasted on SETI and contacting aliens? Who approved this nonsense, right? Who, imagine, boomer taxpayer money? Tell the boomers, ask them, did you want your millions in taxes and billions in taxes to go for this stupid SETI crap? The boomers are probably like, yeah, I believe in aliens. Right, because that's the two boomer conspiracies are aliens and JFK, right? That's the ones that they like, right?
Well, that's going to be the upcoming...
JFK had the secret. They told him in the president's book that there was aliens. That's in part 3, right?
Yeah. Area 51 is going to be in that.
So in National Treasure 3, which I am looking forward to because I love Nicolas Cage, we're devotees, right?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize it's hinted at the end of National Treasure 2 that it's about Area 51.
Yeah.
Because of the president's book. Mr. President, I saw the book. I saw page 49.
It's life-altering, he said.
Life-altering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So... Randy goes wild on TV news PTSD.
Right, so he's interviewed by local news, and they just say he's a crazy vet with PTSD because he believes in aliens. And he says he was touched in the butt by them. That's what he says. We already heard that.
That sounds like a bad Hallmark movie. Okay. Harry Connick Jr. is in this.
It's a good Hallmark movie.
Touched in the butt.
Right, so in National Treasure, remember Randy Travis shows up?
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
Harry Connick Jr. shows up. But in this, he's a pilot. He's Will Smith's pilot buddy.
Yeah.
So there's this Top Gun-ish type of scene of like him and Harry Connick Jr.
Americana. Man.
flying jets,
Yeah.
fighting this stupid alien.
Aliens are elites, he said.
Yes, aliens always represent the elite in films because they're always doing the same thing, right? They want to depop, they want to extract the resources, control them, they want to experiment on humans, they love the butt stuff, right? That's the elite.
I'm touched in the butt. That's my new favorite.
Gross. Keep going. Yes.
Alien cult.
Reportedly, there's going to be National Treasure 3, but again, I'm sorry. It's always got to be about alien nonsense. And if you remember the narrative of National Treasure, which was totally Masonic, right?
Yeah,
Remember,
Templar
it goes from Freemasons and Templars, and the Templar treasure is this giant El Dorado gold city.
Yeah.
And what does Nick Cage say it was all about? Oh, it's a human sacrifice altar.
Yeah, that's where they
10,000
slit
a
the
day.
throat.
It's where they slit the throat.
Yeah.
Right. So the whole narrative, America is like a weird ritual occult place. It's based on human sacrifice, and then the third one will be alien nonsense. Mm-hmm. Who's he gonna kidnap? I'm gonna have to storm it. I'm gonna storm Area 51. Right. I'm gonna kidnap the aliens in Area 51. Right.
4th of July, this happens on.
Right. Well,
That's a Masonic day.
Independence Day,
Yeah, I know.
1776.
You know, I always forget how Masonic National Treasure is, like, up there with From Hell, like, overtly Masonic.
Yeah. By the way, I've got old National Treasure analyses, guys. If you missed the old classics, go back and watch the Nick Cage streams and the Con Air and National Treasure streams that I did with Hesher. So we did a Con Air Hesher stream way back. Keep going.
Cool.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Okay. In the Gulf War, we knew what we had to do. I guess that was a line from the movie.
Right, so they're already talking about they're connecting this to the psyops and the wars of the time, right? So I think that's not when I did. Keep going.
Okay.
I'm looking for this.
New Mexico, Roswell, Area 51, alien bunker. We weren't prepared. Oh, okay. So yeah, so they had a crashed alien again, just like Transformers.
Yeah, and it's Brent Spiner.
They
It's
had him
Data that's running that down
in
there,
the
right?
fluid, and he's psychic, and he'll like grab your throat, right? And he gets inside your head.
And there's some stupid line that he has to Data because he grabs Data.
Yeah, and he does his throat
Yeah,
thing.
vaguely remember this.
Oh, and
I hate this movie. It's why.
they have a ship that they've been reverse engineering technology from.
Right. Which is the whole BS psyop of Roswell this whole time.
And
right?
Transformers.
And every time I talk about this, I get people message me and they want to tell me the real story. I know you don't believe in aliens, but son, I'm going to tell you the real story. Right? Like, I'm going to fall for that. Come on, dude. Give me a break.
Let's see. All-seeing eye. The myth of...
Well, nothing ever comes up when
Roswell.
you search for it on YouTube, so I'll have to find it a different way. But we had a really good Con Air episode. I don't mean the 50,000 with Jim Bob. I'm talking about another one. Keep going.
What is this? 90s hacks in... Oh, 90s hacking.
Here it is.
Oh,
It doesn't
they
even come up.
They hack into the ship because the computer technology is based on their stuff. So that's why the hackers can get into their ship.
You can talk to them and look for something.
I know. I'm just thinking about. I'm remembering it. Okay, CIA failed. We had no way of knowing. They knew when and how to hit us. So they go out of the way to make sure you know that these aliens are hostile and we're being exterminated. But once again, there's like partiers who welcome the aliens. Remember, with their signs and...
Right. So there's alien cult believers that fall for it. Here it is. Here's the stream we did on National Treasure that came out really good. And we went into the Hellfire Club. We got pretty deep in that stream. So if you're looking for a good classic from Jay's analysis, go watch that.
Who'd you do that with? Hesher?
I just said Hesher.
Oh, cool. It possesses data, yeah.
Oh, he gets possessed.
Yeah.
Once again, aliens do the possession thing, right?
They waste...
That's what Crowley talked about. Butt stuff and possession. That was his whole thing.
Yeah. They waste no resources. Green propaganda.
The aliens try to make the argument, right? Their whole point is that they don't waste resources. This is always in the alien films. That's part of the green propaganda.
Oh. Are we?
You waste resources.
We're a resource, though, to them, right?
Yes, but I'm just saying that they waste resources.
Right. Not like
Humans waste resources, and so the aliens are superior because they don't do that, which is just stupid propaganda. It's just the most basic level propaganda. It's really frustrating, by the way.
They mentioned something about pollution in the ozone layer.
Why did I blow up your feeds? I don't know what you mean. Blow up your feeds with what? Keep going.
Formulaic gobbledygook. Is
Yes.
that how you feel
That's
about
why
this
I hate
movie?
this movie, is that it's formulaic gobbledygook.
Yeah.
Perfect descriptor. If I was a movie
That was
critic,
your
that
note.
would have been my tagline for this, formulaic gobbledygook. And it's also, pretty obvious propaganda. It's just funny when it was the same with Armageddon. Remember when we did Armageddon? You go back and you watch these 90s movies and it's just so transparent, the propaganda. And you're like, how did I not see this? Is obvious, right? I mean, but I guess to people that don't know propaganda, haven't studied this stuff, it's not that obvious, right?
Well, also when you see it all together, that's when,
What all together?
the movies are coming out year by year and you can't put it together, but
Well, that's why these
Looking back.
themed episodes work, because
Yeah.
they show the trends and the themes in these different decades. Yeah. I mean, we just got inundated in the 90s with alien movies. There's so many.
yeah. And Will Smith was the Men in Black too, so he's on the alien train. Scientology.
Is he a Scientologist?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that. Well, there you go. Yeah. By the way, did you remember that Scientology is an alien exotheological myth?
Yeah. Xenu.
Forgot that.
And taking the souls and putting them in giant theaters.
Nah.
Getting clear with my feet.
No.
Get it?
Yup.
Get jiggy with it. No. That was really stupid.
Nukes. What? Oh, so they have to get the shield down so that the whole world can come together and blow up each individual.
Yeah, alien movies always
Yeah.
gotta have this nuke crap in it.
And the world coming together to...
That's what I was saying about Daily Earth. It's always about how the world has to unite. And that was Reagan's speech at the United Nations, right?
Yeah.
If we have a global threat, we can unite the globe.
New World Order.
With a made-up external enemy, aliens.
Yes.
That's, by the way, the premise of the Collins Brothers' new book is that the external threat of the alien is what is the modus operandi of that's the rallying cry of the global elite, to have the New World Order on the basis of made-up threats. Aliens. Mm-hmm. Climate change.
Let's see. HAL 9000 reference.
This movie has a lot of reference to classic, again, Alien. They all do.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then they made a point about saying that 4th of July is not just America's holiday now. Now it's a global holiday.
Right. Well, the revolutionary philosophy was always intended to be a global revolutionary philosophy. That's why Aldous Huxley says that the final revolution is Brave New World. You don't understand? Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Cheese ball what?
Music.
Oh, cheese ball music for attack.
I don't remember.
Oh.
It's probably some like emotional kind of generic music that's supposed to make the attack scene.
Are Frisbees the most?
I don't know what that means. I got notes about Frisbees. I don't know. I think I was thinking, are Frisbees the most? I mean, why are all alien craft Frisbees, basically?
The flying saucer, you mean?
Yeah, and then in Close Encounters, it looks like an ice cream cone. Mm-hmm. E.T.'s looks like an ice cream cone. So it's either a flying ice cream cone or a cigar or a Frisbee. Mm-hmm. That's really your basic bitch models of the alien ship. When you go to the alien dealership, he's like, do you want the... Well, it's... Who's the black guy? Bernie Mac, the dealer. Well, let me get it. He's trying to sell you the basic bitch models of the ships. Where are we at next?
That's all your notes. Can you think of anything else about
No, I hate this movie.
Independence Day?
No, let's just get this out of here. I don't even want to think about this stupid movie. Just flush that down the toilet. I'm going to flush my notes down the toilet. I hate that movie so much.
Okay, moving on. We have some documentaries. We have Fifth Element, Stargate.
No, The Box.
The Box. Oh, yeah.
A lot of people hate The Box. It's not that bad. It's better than Independence Day.
Is it in your book?
Nope.
Oh, it's on your website?
Yep.
Okay.
Tell them what we got in part 2.
In part 2, coming up, we got much requested favorite Fifth Element. Classic. We got Stargate, 1994, and we got Dark Skies, and that's a fairly recent one. And we have 2.
I forgot to put The Box in the show description.
Do you want to do one documentary tonight? No. And we had 2 documentaries about aliens supposedly.
The Stan Romanek is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. That is the stupidest, fakest, most ridiculous alien doc. Now, the other one, Australian Sky, is actually pretty good. That one I'll give some credit to. I don't think it's aliens, but it does actually have some interesting footage of the orbs and, the kind of actually the mysterious phenomena. But the Stan Romanek is almost like a satire documentary that people actually take seriously. I don't know how anybody thinks that. Maybe it's because it's an older documentary. It's like a 2003 or 4 documentary. So maybe back then people were less sophisticated about analyzing video. And I mean, the dude freaking runs out of his house. He's, I'm going to show you guys the aliens. And then he sets up the camera at his window and then he runs away. And then this like puppet.
It's like a 13-year-old.
It's like a puppet sticks his head up outside the window.
That was about
when he ran outside to do it. It's like, well, maybe if you were on camera, dude, could you not at least have gotten a friend to do it? I mean, come on, man.
That's like what 10-year-olds do on TikTok right now. That's really stupid. When I saw the alien peeping in the window, I knew this documentary was a stinker. Getting jiggy with it.
Where are we at?
The Box. The what?
All right, so the box is interesting because, well, this movie is actually pretty philosophical, and I did analysis a long time ago, and that's why, actually, it's one of my more popular analyses. It's had a lot of views over the years.
Donnie Darko, director?
Rap Donnie Darko, yeah. No, yes. So Richard Kelly, famous for Donnie Darko, and then two movies that people didn't really like. People didn't like Southland Tales, and they didn't like The Box. I actually like both of them. I think they're pretty interesting, even though they don't really make a lot of linear sense. But that's okay. Donnie Darko is an amazing movie. It wasn't really a linear story, right? It was an homage to the 80s, but told in a cyclical way. But that's okay because it's really fascinating philosophical spirit. Now, this is about the deep state. This is about the NSA and their alien attitude, right? The idea that the NSA is run by a bunch of sort of creepy surveillance type people who are doing an experiment on everyone. And so the tagline of the movie is, "You are the experiment." Now, in the movie, the box references multiple different boxes that we experience in our life, right? The house that we live in is a box. Our cars are boxes. Our casket is a box, right? So the box, which the Frank Langella character, the chief alien, the demon alien, he explains this. He says, everything in our life is a box. And there's also an existentialist element because they reference the Sartre play about hell. And so this comes up, and we're supposed to make the connection between the fact that the aliens are demonic, they're like hellish beings, and the people that they entrap and compromise are making league with hell, basically. That's what's going on in the film. I'll put my my analysis, the classic from years ago. This has had probably 20, 30,000 views as an article, which is pretty rare over the years because it used to be on my old website.
And don't forget, the box is the cube, and the alien lightning is from Saturn.
That's right. Frank Langella, who is like a NASA NSA, or he's an NSA person who's trying to corrupt people at NASA. He was struck by lightning, which was actually this alien entity possessing him. And so then what he does is he compromises people by getting them to push this button that gives them $1 million, but they know that it kills somebody. So it's kind of a critique of, like, Viper capitalism, I guess you could say, monopoly capitalism, disaster capitalism. Like, that this is going to lead to destruction, but you push it anyway. And of course, the irony at the end of the movie is that the button that you push actually ends up killing the person that pushed the button before you. So you push the button, it's going to kill somebody, the box moves on to the next person, and you're the person that, when the next person pushes it, it kills. So it's kind of like this self-feeding loop of destruction, but that's the alien game in the movie, right? The aliens are just compromising and corrupting people, and eventually getting people to sell out for the $1 million that they never actually even get to use, because they've corrupted themselves to the point of they become hell itself. Hence the references to the Sartre play, No Exit.
What do you make of that?
You're stuck in a box. There's no exit.
They were both disfigured, her foot and his.
That was just so that she would have a empathy for him.
Oh, okay.
So she feels like she can have a connection with him due to empathy, but he doesn't have empathy. And by the way, there's some really interesting sequences when they're looking through the science fiction in the dad's basement, and you see the reference to the casket, you see the reference to the Twin Tower, you see the reference to Arthur C. Clarke in the basement. The dad's basement has a painting of Arthur C. Clarke's third law, which of course is that there's no distinction between magic and significantly advanced science. So there's references to the two pillars. There's a twin pillars reference with a skull. A lot of references to, and then when he goes into the library, when there's the middle pillar of initiation, when there's those three pillars that he has to choose, right? There's a lot of numerology and just weird stuff that goes into this. It's based on Masonry. There's the sign of one of the Masonic signs. I forget which one this is, but it's in my analysis there. When he goes to the library, which is where you store knowledge, gnosis, right? So the dad is getting initiated, right? He's just a humble NASA architect, aeroscience guy who wants to be an astronaut, but he's rejected. And the reason that one way we know that this is all about this crazy stuff is that there's a scene where it shows the grid that Arlington Stewart, by the way, Arlington is a grave cemetery. So this is letting you know that he's the angel of death, basically, the Frank Langella character. And there's this sequence where it shows this whole map of the world, and it shows Northcom, CENTCOM, right? USCOM, which is an actual world map of the Pentagon. The Pentagon's Northcom, CENTCOM, USCOM map. Southcom, right? That's in the movie. So the movie is telling you that, magic squares come up in this movie. This movie's crazy. Like, it's got all this stuff in there, but it's really about this initiatory, inner sanctum of the Illuminists who are behind these agencies like NSA, even NASA. Even in the film, NASA is kind of like an outer portico joke, because the Arlington Stewart guy is trying to initiate the dad into this inner core, and so they even do a baptism ritual, right? Because they're going from town to town and recruiting people and baptizing them into this alien cult. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Like literal baptism. So it's like a Gnostic Illuminist baptism in this movie. Go back and watch it. This movie's crazy.
Do you remember the scene where he gets denied his application for the astronaut?
Mm-hmm.
And they said it was because of his psych evaluation? Mm-hmm. And you're thinking, well, that's got to be a mistake because he seems like a really nice guy. But then come to find out he's not as nice as you think he is because, they push the button and everything. Mm.
Well, he didn't. She did.
I know, but...
He had to corrupt Cameron Diaz.
But there's just a clue in there that maybe he's not as moral as you think he is. And that's why he gets... Well, recruited.
He starts out moral, mm-hmm. and that's why he's rejected from the program, because he's moral. So to be an astronaut, you got to be immoral. Oh. So he's rejected because he is moral. Okay. But then he has to be compromised, and he's compromised through the angel seducing the woman, so that it's like Eve.
Oh, yeah.
So Arlington Stewart is the angel of death that comes from space. He comes into the body of Frank Langella, which the body is a kind of box in the Gnostic scheme. He corrupts the main guy's wife, Cameron Diaz, and then she ends up pushing the button and kind of dragging them into this whole thing. So mm-hmm. it's an Adam Eve type of story as well.
A fall
mm-hmm.
story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why the fall is into you are hell. You become your own hell by falling into this trap of mammonism, basically, mm-hmm. of worshiping mammon. You're corrupted by mammon, but you wouldn't be corrupted by that if you didn't first make the moral mistake. And that's what the whole movie is about.
Mm-hmm. I liked it because it was old school, creepy, in the style of like Rosemary's Baby, set in the 70s, and with really ugly music.
Right. He's intentionally referring back to Kubrick movies and to like Roman Polanski, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I thought it was a good horror movie.
A lot of people didn't. They hated it. They thought it was too derivative of Kubrick. It didn't bother me. I don't see. Go back and watch the movie, and it's pretty illuminating, so to speak. And it has this whole mythology of the fall of the, I beheld Satan like lightning mm-hmm. falling, mm-hmm. Jesus says, mm-hmm. right? In Luke, literally Arlington Stewart is possessed when the lightning strikes him. So he becomes death, Arlington Cemetery, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of sequences where you see it very Kubrick-esque, right? He's sitting in that, big war room style light circle around him. The references to Arthur C. Clarke, and that helps us know as well that it's a sort of a Crowleyan type of thing, because Arthur C. Clarke, if you didn't know, was in the Circles of Crowley, right? I mean, the Childhood's End is kind of a Crowleyan story.
Yeah, I liked it.
All right, so we will do the... Which one's in the part 2? Well, we got some good ones for you. We got some one good documentary, one stupid documentary, and we got Stargate, which people have requested Stargate for so long. And by the way, there was a Stargate in the box. I forgot that Arlington Stewart's whole thing he was setting up was a Stargate, so that the demons could come through and the humans could be initiated into and I guess made into slaves, right? Because when you are made part of the cult, like they brain control you, your nose bleeds, remember?
Oh, yeah.
So they're inducting people into an alien cult and basically like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, mind controlling them. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be getting into the Egyptian gods and the aliens in Stargate. Remember the 1994 Kurt Russell, James Spader Stargate, which it's also a stupid movie, but has some interesting elements, as we'll see. It was, again, fun to revisit a lot of these 90s alien movies. And we're going to do Luc Besson's attempt to do Star Wars with Stargate. I mean, Fifth Element. I know everybody said for years, when are you going to do Fifth Element? When are you going to do Stargate? Well, we're finally doing it, right, in this alien stream. So we'll have those in the part 2. That'll be fun. If you want to get the full content, subscribe to Jay's Analysis. The links in the show description. And we might throw another, because that's not a whole lot. We did,
We got
5?
Dark Skies and 2 documentaries.
Yes, Dark Skies is an interesting, not as well-known or famous alien movie with Kerry Russell and J.K. Simmons, who plays the conspiracy theorist. Huh?
I think it holds up.
No, it's not bad. It's just it doesn't have a whole lot of stuff in it. But it is worth mentioning because the aliens are essentially demonic in this. It's another presentation of...
Yeah.
demonic-esque aliens who you're watching the movie and you think it's paranormal stuff. You think it's ghosts. And, what do you know? The same thing that demons do, the aliens do. Yeah. So that's why we included it. We'll look at the super chats here. Real Cooter Brown. What's up? How you doing, baby? Let's go back to Jessica. No.
The first $5 one.
I'm looking. Sarah. $5. She says, Jamie is pretty and Jay is prettier. That's all. Ha ha ha. I am the diva here. Jamie is my sidekick diva, but I'm the real diva. That's what that's what she actually means by that super chat. I'm going to decode it for you. She actually said that you're pretty and I'm cute, but we know what she really means. Kara says for $5, here's some of the GameStop gains from the most based couple on the interwebs. Now, I'm still waiting for those Dogecoin gains. I don't know nothing about stonks. Okay, I do the crypto stuff, so I guess people made money on GameStop, and that's good. Stick it to the Wall Street goons, right? CIA Wall Street goons. But I'm still waiting on my Doge, boy. Mm-hmm. Go up, boy. Go up.
Doge whammy.
Bad boy, go up. Mm-hmm. You go to that moon. Go to that moon now, boy. Where are we at? John Connell. You're supposed to be the one to be the John Connell to get the $5. Did you guys have the haircut recently? I've not had a haircut in over a year because I don't wear the mask. Do you think that Willie Smith is a boat pirate? Well, we'll stop there because that is a... We'll stop there. Get it? Because that is an unallowable question. How dare you ask such a question? John Connell.
Did you get a haircut? He said.
Of course we did. I already said we put peanut butter and we let the woodland creatures chew it.
I cut my own hair. I haven't had a haircut before the pandemic.
You primped your hair with...
The aliens did this to my hair
with
today.
Crimping devices or whatever you call that stuff.
I experimented on it.
Luthien the Mortal $5. Witkoff had a very interesting take in a recent video reviewing a book about Kabbalah. He mentioned that he saw a relation to the Allspark. There you go. Told you. So, yes. And now I did an analysis, too, of Mel Gibson, Metatron's Cube. Metatron's Cube comes up, and it's supposed to be connected to the Book of Enoch. Now, this is a bunch of mythology, right? But if you watch Thunderdome, if you read my analysis of Beyond Thunderdome, I cover this, right? Because there's some weird stuff going on in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, and I mentioned some Kabbalistic elements in that too, long time ago. But somebody hipped me to the fact that there is a reference to Metatron's Cube in the Kabbalah, and that's probably what we're talking about here. Yeah, the Transformers, the Allspark, and the Cube is likened to the lost technology. It's even at the beginning of the movie. At the beginning of Transformers, they say that the Allspark is this lost, forgotten God tech, right? So God is a technology that you can just master, get your degree in coding, and you'll become God, bro. I don't remember specifics, but it was very interesting. Yes. Well, I think that he's probably talking about what I just talked about, right? Metatron's Cube. Mm-hmm. John Connell. Have you heard that Mila Jovovich is a Russian vampire KGB agent? Yes, she is. Implemented to get Hollywood dark seekers to pass the esoteric knowledge back to Dugin and Putin at the Kremlin so that they can rule the world via hybrid Chicom Russians. That is the most likely conspiracy, correct? Yeah. And yes, that is what Resident Evil is secretly about. I'm joking. Kimberly K, $5. She says, shh. Jessica, $5. I love Jamie's books. And Jay's work, too. Aw. She negged me, dude. Jessica just negged me. Jay is crazy smart and knowledgeable, but sometimes he goes over my head. Well, maybe that's because you're short. Maybe Jessica's this tall, and so anything goes over her head. What do you think?
It goes over my head. I hear it every day, and it's still too smart for me sometimes.
John Connor.
I know what you mean.
John Connor's dropping them fives, baby. He's dropping them Benjamins. What? Who's on a five? I don't even know who's on a five.
Abraham Lincoln.
Them Abes. He's dropping them Abes. Little Abes dropping Abes. We're going to call him Little Abes. I did 2 hits of LSD this summer in Griffith Park. Yikes. Why you do that, dude? You're going to see the Hobo King for sure if you do that.
Yeah, I know.
And I became scary when children approached me.
It became scary.
It became scary. While you were hiking, proclaiming they were robots and just wanted to dance. Lots of scary people in Hollywood. Well, yeah, you asked for that one, dog. John, what are you doing tripping acid, John Connor? You're supposed to be going to the future and defeating the T-800 or whatever. Get to work, lazy bones. You're just partying and tripping acid. You're supposed to go defeat Skynet. Yeah. Cesar Gato Gordo Grease Campos. $5. Now, Cesar Campos, he's a longtime subscriber, supporter. I think that's who you are. When the Men in Black theme is deeper and creepier. Here comes Men in Black. I thought you meant the theme of that stupid song. You mean the theme of the movie, which features the stupid song.
No, he said the theme song is much creepier in retrospect.
Oh.
The good guys dress in black. Remember that. If we ever show in your section, believe me, it's for your own protection, because we see things that you need not see, and we be places you need not be. That's the Men in Black.
Right, so Men in Black is this, the deep state, the secret intelligence operations and agencies. Oh, we're all here for your good. We're here for your good. We're going to protect you. Galaxy. Yeah, sure. Right. When everybody knows that the intelligence agencies are basically just the worker bees for the big banks and the corporations.
How cringe is the, Tommy Lee Jones trying to be cool and hip with the sunglasses in Men in Black?
I don't even remember. I hate this movie too. I don't remember it. I've only seen it once. I went through the whole 90s and 2000s, and I never watched Men in Black until a couple years ago when Jamie and I watched it.
We were going to add it, but it's such a terrible piece of dookie movie that we couldn't even bring ourselves to watch it.
Do you mean the Green Day album Dookie?
Yeah. It was that bad.
Luthien the Mortal, $5. I want more Nicolas Cage impression. The Beast, not the Beast.
That's good.
Ian Garrison Sevo, $5. Read that.
I just watched The Croods, The New Age, and the dad is Nicolas Cage. The movie had a strong Amprim critique of modernity. What's Amprim?
Where?
ANPRIM.
I don't know.
Had a strong and critique of modernity. One of the characters is literally
Anarcho-primitivist.
a wine mom, and another is like a satanic Steve Jobs type. Might be fun to analyze. That movie's been at the theater for so long.
Because they don't do movies anymore.
Like months. Maybe we should go see it. It's like the only movie playing in Paris. What else? Exposing powerful lies. $6. Getting jiggy with it.
No.
The Real Cooter Brown. $5. What? Have y'all done an analysis of the Left Behind movie Nick Cage was in? If not, that could be a fun one to do at some point. Yeah.
I mean, it was going to be on the list of worst ever. So
Yeah,
maybe.
that'd be fun.
All right. Thank you, guys. If you want to see the full show, subscribe to Jay's Analysis. We had a fun night tonight. Be sure and like and share. And hope you enjoyed our alien analysis.